Sunday, February 24th, and this is the 24 hours of Bitcoin. Yesterday when we went through the video, we were looking at the indicators and they were all showing bearish divergences, and then except for right at the very end, and then prices really took off and did not go bearish. So we're going to review all of those here today and see what was the change. First of all, this is not trading advice. You can read the full disclaimer down in the description below. And before I jump into Bitcoin prices, I want to take a second to introduce that we are having our intensive 3-week cryptocurrency trading course. Registration is open right now, open yesterday, and it's open until Wednesday. Next course registration will be not until March 26th to March 30th. So if you've been considering a course, don't put this off. You know the bull market is just starting. And if that bull market gives you butterflies in your stomach, but you don't have a clear plan of exactly what you're going to do with it, this course is definitely for you. I'll let you go through the details of the course and see all the bonuses and take a second to see how well we've been doing in our calls and on our alerts. And I want to point out that you get tons of bonuses training, including things that will expire here today. One-on-one training session if you sign up today. You also get a complimentary 3-month subscription to the alert service. So you get the course, you get the lifetime membership to take the course as often as you wish, all sorts of training bonuses that stack up to over $1,600 in bonuses and $300 worth of savings if you sign up today. So it's a ton of information, a lifetime membership. You won't find anything like this else on the internet. Now let's jump into Bitcoin prices. As you can see, this little jump up here, some people have saying that this is not a real Bitcoin move. Of course, it's very real. Now let's dig into it and take a look at what this means in the long term. Let's zoom back out to the long-term view. I'm going to put on the 200 period moving average and drag the chart all the way back to 2015. This is the last time that Bitcoin prices were up this close to or this far below the 200 period moving average. We've been reflecting on where support and resistance was and how far Bitcoin prices came up to that support and resistance in the past. Now let's go and take a look at what happened in this moment right here. I want to zoom in on that moment more specifically. And then I'm going to zoom into the RSI. So as this is topping out, we can see that the RSI topped and then faded back. And so we had a divergence. Even in the daily, we could see the divergence in the RSI before the prices dropped off here as they came up to support and resistance. Now, let's zoom into the 3-month here, where we can see prices have gone higher, but the RSI has stayed flat. We're looking at the 3-month view. Now we're going to move into the 1-month view, and the RSI has come down from this high to this high. The RSI hasn't gone higher. It looks like if we're looking for these divergences, we've got something shaping up here. Not as clear here, but let me be sure I drag the chart over. This is where we were yesterday as the RSI had been fading off. Prices were going up. It looked like a bit of a top formation going on here, but as soon as that video was finished, this descending RSI immediately jumped. Very key. And now, of course, let's zoom in a little bit more. I'll wait for the chart to catch up. Here we are. I'm shopping for my divergences. So I am looking to confirm my bias by finding what I'm looking for. Let's take a look at the next chart. So we're looking at the on-balance volume now. So we did get a good surge of volume. Yesterday we were looking at this, how the on-balance volume was lower. Still didn't give us as much, but it was a good surge that came in on that. If we zoom in to take a more of a characteristic on that, here's where we were yesterday after this. It looked like everything was turning and would be going softer, and poof, up it came. does this look like it's going to be going higher or lower? It's sort of indecisive, but it's got enough juice in there. Zoom into the 15-minute bar. Okay, it's still looking okay. A little bit weaker at the end here, but it's not doing too bad. If we zoom right in, so we had a bit of a dump here. That's what's skewing everything, but we're still having buying overall. And then if we zoom into the MACD indicator and we're looking at the 3-month view, so this was tapering off yesterday. If I open this up, this was tapering off. We were seeing that the histogram was fading back. This was all looking weak, and it just bounced right up from there on the 3-month view. So we're looking at the 12-hour bars. Zoom into the 4-hour bars, and we can see how this was descending while this was flat, so it looked really negative, and it crossed over, and the histogram jumped up to positive with that volume that came in. So one of the things that's really important about our trading strategy that may be different than others is our risk control rules. That at the very beginning of a trade, we have a different philosophy that keeps your risks very small, so that you can start off with a trade, experiment with it, and if you are proven correct, you can increase your risk. But keeping your risk small at the very beginning of the trade is the most important thing. And so had we done a short trade here, it wouldn't have lasted long. So now we do have these MACD moving averages crossing over. If I open this up again, it's looking like it was a quick surge, but it didn't have much juice, and we've gone right to negative histogram. We're looking at the 1-hour bars, the 1-week view. So if we zoom in more, this is still fading off. It's got to cross over and give us positive histogram to think that it's going to continue on rather than just stage here where it is. So it does look like at this point here we are getting some strength coming in. Even in the indicators, they are showing continued strength from here. And what I'm watching for now is the top formation. When it's at the lows, I'm looking for the bottom formation. As it's coming up, I start looking for the top formation as a habit. So as it's coming up to the support and resistance levels of the past, this is a key place to be wary in the trade. So if you've gotten in early and you've got your stop loss just above your entry, you're laughing. You can sit back and give it time to move, no problems. Not a problem at all. It's okay if it wiggles along here sideways. It's good. It'll be taking away from some of the support and resistance above the prices before it finally breaks through. If it breaks through quickly, I'm still going to be watching for a top formation and watching all the way up for a top formation as a place to be switching out of alts and into fiat, into a stable coin, out of everything. I do believe that it's going to be coming up and it'll make a top formation. That'll be a time to jump ship for a while. However, when we look at the 4 markets together, Ethereum still looks strong. It still looks like it's going to be breaking higher from here just by the shape of the chart. It really could drop off quickly because of the shape of the chart, but it also looks like they look strong. All of them, they're all at critical levels. So if one of them starts to break above, that's going to bode well for all of them. If they all start to fade back, that's okay. It wouldn't be negative to the overall bull trend. They can still pull back quite a bit and reset up this bottom formation, settle it in more firmly. A break above, I think it'll be short term and it'll be pulling back. So we'll be watching for those top formations. The last thing is to take a look at all of the cryptocurrencies. I've got a link to this channel down in the description below. And this is where we go over 50 different cryptocurrencies every day, grade them against our simple trading plan, and come up with a bullishness or bearishness index. Right now we're seeing there was an increase in neutral markets yesterday and a decrease in the number of markets that were considered bullish or holds. Some of them moved back to being alerts, so they're not as bullish. We did see a decrease in the number of near fail trades, so we'll have to redo that again today, and we'll go through all the cryptocurrencies, grade them all against our trading plan, and see what we come up with. And that wraps her up for this episode. If you haven't already, head over to IntroToCryptos.ca and read more about the cryptocurrency trading course. There's 3 levels we service. We've got the trading course for people who want to jump in and they recognize what's coming up in this. We've got the free course for people who are just starting out like I was back in 2015. And we've got the trading alerts for the do-it-yourselfer who wants a cheaper alternative, lots of education, but they're willing to do the work themselves and spend the hours reading and studying and practicing this. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you all tomorrow.